Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with match number 1 with the Butcher of the Horde enchantment deck. I think that this is a keepable hand. We do need to draw into lands. We have 25 in the deck though, so it should be quite easy to get us into the 4 and 5 mana that we need to be. So I found just Quarantine Field superior to Utter End in almost every way. That's why it's not instant speed though, but for 6 mana you can exile 2 cards. I think it's one of the sleeper cards of the set. It's really powerful for the Mythic. I think you can get these for around $2 a piece now, which is insane. So it's a white source first turn. Could be any deck with this greedy mana base, and that's a beautiful card. I still think it's Shambling Vent into play tap. Let's get that guy into play tapped, and then not have to worry about it coming into play tap. And then we can do the same thing with the Smoldering Marsh next turn, unless we need to Silk Wrap something, and then put the Helm of the Gods. So we can... If it's a mono white deck, we have the Wasteland Strangler, which would be pretty good. Yeah, and so we're able to do that scenario. So Smoldering Marsh. Ooh, geez. Clicked on the wrong card. Helm of the Gods. And then pass turn. And we have a really good game plan coming up here. So another Flooded Strand. Which gets him the Canopy Vista. Which gives us a target for the Warden, which we can still Silk Wrap. Which we will. So we Silk Wrap away the Warden. And we have a Wasteland Strangler next turn, which can then be equipped as a 4/3. So I just really like Helm of the Gods. It's such an efficient equipment. And that's most likely going to be a Den Protector or a Rattleclaw or a Hidden Dragon Slayer. He's already up to 4 colors, so it looks to me like it's just a 4-color good stuff deck, which is getting so annoying to play against. And we'll go ahead and strangle him. We have a Starfield of Nyx if we need to, a Quarantine Field, a Butcher. This will be a great hand. And it was a Den Protector underneath. And now he's staring down a 4/3. See if a Siege Rhino comes out here. We'll Quarantine Field it if that's the case. If we draw a land, I'll definitely slam down the Sigil. And he doesn't look like anything's coming out here. Could have like an Utter End in his hand. Mentor's okay. I don't know if Butcher's just better. I think we will Mentor. I could actually even just activate the Vent. Now we'll go ahead and attack him with the Strangler. Kind of disappointed I missed a land drop there because I think the Sigil would have been huge. But he's down to a 14. And we'll go ahead and cast the Mentor. And I do believe we want the Helm on the Mentor. Rather than on the Processor and the Strangler. So most likely he's going to have an Ojutai here is what it looks like. Now it's a Gideon. Gideon's actually very weak here. We'll quarantine field the knight, I think, and then just kill Gideon. Shambling Vent, or we can actually just swing into Gideon with the Shambling with everything. We could eat the Wasteland Strangler and kill Gideon, and then not have to worry about quarantine field a knight. And then we can get some value off of it. I think that's fine. I think we can just eat a Wasteland Strangler. It did its job. And we'll attack into Gideon with the Butcher. I don't think there's anything for just a black in this format that he can do. If he had another mana up, he could have a Surge, but that wouldn't be coming until post. So we'll attack him and Gideon. So at least Gideon did absorb 5 damage and put out a 2/2. But he's very far behind now at this point. He needs an answer for the Butcher. The Mentor is actually a problematic card. That's a Den Protector that can get him back, Gideon. I'm not too worried about it. If we draw into land, we can actually quarantine field both his ally and his Den Protector. I think it will just Sigil here. And just attacking with the Butcher. The Mentor, he could lose both guys. We have a backup Mentor. I think we'll just attack in with the Butcher. And I don't know if it's relevant to eat a Monk to give lifelink. I don't think it is. And next turn we have Starfield of Nyx to make the Sigil and the Silk Wrap. Lango should be a decently rough right here. It's just going to be Gideon, which will put out another ally. Which he'd still... Oh, he's going to actually attack in with it. I don't know why. It's pointless. Unless he can do something spectacular like gain 10 life with the... what is that good old card called? Feed the Clans? We even have a... We can draw into a land with Quarantine Field. It's most likely it's going to be Starfield of Nyx. But it's... I really don't... Can't think of anything for a green and a blue. Did he tap his mana wrong, too? Is that what he's doing? Ah, he's got another one. So you actually can use a card like a Ruinous Path. Or a Silk Wrap. The command on the... I'd gain some life here if I cared. Command on the Butcher. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. It dies. See if he decides to attack in with Gideon. Guess he might as well, right? Because he gets nothing until in the turn. And what did he do there? He fought... Oh, he put the What's One's counter on the Den Protector. I was like, what in the world did the... Oh, that is terrible. This actually comes into play tapped. But does he still die? Can you block the 5/5? No, he still doesn't die here with the Starfield of Nyx. We can exile the either Gideon with the Quarantine Field or the Den Protector. Starfield puts out a 5/5, pumps up. So we have two 5/5s. You'd have to block both of them. And then, so you'd basically lose everything. And we get a 4/4 Angel. I think that's actually the better play. And we'll attack into him with everything. Oh, wait, these don't activate until... Yeah, I messed up there. These don't activate until after the fact. So you can just block with an ally token. Yeah, that ends up not being the best. Attacking him, see if he wants to lose both of his guys. Or just an ally token. I'm okay with that. He's really served his purpose. And we can kill both of them. Alrighty, so next turn, yeah, maybe Quarantine Field was a better play. For some reason, I think Starfield is Nyx actually. It's when they have 5 or we have 2, 5 or more enchantments. But we have an Angel, a Monk, and a nice board state. And we can actually exile 2 cards next turn. He's going to fight off an Angel now. He has to have a blocker to save him. So it'll be another Dromoka's Command. He's going to let me sack an enchantment. Okay. That's actually good. Because I'll get it back. That's what I like about the Wasteland Stranglers. He gets 0 value from Dromoka's Command for making me sack something because it's already gone. Butcher, I think we'll just Quarantine Field and then equip. then he has to have. I guess he could activate a Shambling Vent, but yeah, it's just too much for him to overcome. So we'll go to the sideboard. I'm not quite sure we need the Radiant Flames. I actually do think we do need Radiant Flames. And Crackling Doom is interesting because against Gideon, it really sets Gideon back. I don't know if we need the Suspension Fields. I didn't see too much. Really didn't see anything. Molten Vortex is actually not bad in this matchup. I actually do like the Sigil, because I think we'll have time to get there. And then Transgress the Mind is another one. It hits Gideon, but it doesn't really hit much else, and I'm not too worried about Gideon at the moment. Stasis Snares, Mentors are fine. I don't know if we quite need the Mentors. Or if we need that extra Sigil. Sigil just seemed hard for him, but he is kind of an aggressive deck. I think I'm going to drop. Well, Mentor with his deck actually does seem hard. It seems really hard for him to deal with a Mentor. I think I'm just going to go down in some Outpost Sieges. I don't think we quite need them. And then bring back in a Sigil. I think Sigil's actually pretty rough for him. We'll submit this. Well, we have a game plan. It's slow. But we have the Sigil and the Starfield. Here's his Warden. Love to get like a Molten Vortex off the top. We'll go ahead and throw the Vent into play tapped. And do the same for the Smoldering Marsh. So I guess that the Suspension Fields hit Wardens. And see if he's going to pump it up and attack. Yeah, so he's more aggressive than I gave him credit. It just looks like it's green-white aggro with a little bit of splashy splash for who knows what, Dragonlord Ojutai. And maybe Siege Rhino? Well, this is typical of MTG. You keep a 5-lander and you draw a land or 4-lander. And we need something for the Butcher. Like a Retreat to Maria. Geez, even as a Smoldering... So this is just 5-color good stuff. These decks are ridiculous. Again, I can't wait. I know I might sound a little bit whiny. I just can't wait for rotation. Why did he decide not to attack in? Has to be misplay on his part. Citadel Siege is great. The only problem is he most likely has a command in his deck. We have mana for the Radiant Flames to wipe his board. See if Gideon comes out here. Gideon's a card that would actually be pretty decent in this deck as well. I'm just not willing to fork over 40 tickets to buy him. Hangerback Walker. Don't know if we're going to be able to get to where we need on time. I think we still do Butcher. He could have Crackling Doom in his hand. Wasteland Strangler would be good if we actually had something with it. I think we do just Butcher here. And see if he can deal with it. And next turn we have Starfield or Sigil of the Empty Throne. Or Citadel. Both of them are pretty good. Crackling Doom would be the worst thing that could happen to us here. A +1/+1 in fight on a Hangerback Walker would also be pretty devastating. But at least we get the command out of there. It looks like Gideon's coming down. Up, just another hanger back. So far, so good. Silk Wrap could take care of one, and then Wasteland Strangler. Wow, that was an amazing draw. And gives the padding for Jamoka's command. So, do I eat the Strangler? I don't quite think I need to. I will attack in, though. I don't need lifelink quite yet. We have a Citadel Siege, which I don't even know what I'll decide to name. I think that we just slam down the Sigil. It only gives him 2. I'm okay with this trade. Let's get this thing out of the way. Yeah, it just gives him... Toothopters is not where you want Hangerback to be. See if Gideon comes down. Wingmate. Oh, he needed to attack for the Wingmate. So... Still, here needs to be a Sigil. And we have to keep back the Butcher as a blocker. Command would be a little bit of a problem. He'd lose a Wingmate Rock, but keep back quite a few. Radiant Flames isn't the greatest against Wingmate Rock. Wingmate Rock's a card I don't think would quite work out in this deck. So it does look like it's Jamoka's command on the bird token on the Butcher. And then he can get in for 5. But he'll lose his bird token. Yep. And then we get in for 5. But we have this renewable resource called the Sigil. Which is actually going to get us a Citadel Siege, which we'll actually name dragons to tap down as Wingmate Rock. So has 3 cards in his hand. And it's an Anafenza, which that will be what's tapped down now. We have a Stasis Snare. We can actually cast both. So let's do it so we don't have to deal damage to ourselves. Is there a way that we can do that? No, we're going to have to be taking damage no matter what. We don't have enough white sources. So we'll Citadel. And name dragons. And then pass the turn. Could have named Khans and immediately put some counters on our Angel. I think dragons at this point is more productive. So Den Protector can get back a command. or a Hangerback Walker. Neither one of these at this point is that problematic. He'll get back a command, which he can't use this turn. So I'm going to tap down the Wingmate Rock. And we'll go ahead and Stasis Snare on the Anafenza. Puts another Angel into play. And he's going to concede here. I don't know if he's quite out of the game. See what it would have drawn into. Another Caves. But we'd have another 4/4. Starfield would have came out, give us another 4/4. And I think that, I don't know, we have him pretty locked down. Take care of Anafenza. He could still, what can he draw into in his deck? He's got to have answers. I think that's a little bit premature of a concession. Anywho, we'll go on to the next matchup. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.